Circadian Rhythm by Nugent Raju Kumar. So nowadays, people around the world are seeing a dramatic decline in the number of hours they sleep. For example, in a recent survey done by the Better Sleep Council, more than 75% of teenagers actually reported that they get 7 or less hours of sleep each night. And this is a far cry from the 8 to 10 hours that doctors recommend we sleep. Not only is our sleep decreasing, but our sleep schedule is also prone to being disrupted. This will result in many psychological consequences, which will ultimately end up impacting our health. This is why it is essential for every one of us to have knowledge and to know what circadian rhythm is, our body's internal clock system. In this presentation, I'll be discussing about what circadian rhythm is, how it impacts human health, solutions to having a better sleep schedule, and ultimately some personal experiences. So let's hop right into it. Before I talk about what circadian rhythm is, I just want to introduce myself. So I'm 16 years old, I'm grade 10 in high school, I live in Ontario, Canada, I'm determined and detail-oriented, and lastly, I'm interested in the medical and engineering field. So ideally, probably a biomedical engineer. By this point, I'm not that 100% certain, and there's still plenty of time left and plenty of options left. Circadian rhythm. So what is it? Circadian rhythm is derived from the Latin words which mean circa, about, and diem, which means day. So in short, we can conclude that it has something to do about a day rhythm. In short, it's your body's internal 24-hour sleep/wake schedule. It's basically the alarm clock of your body before the alarm clock was even invented. Isn't that cool? It responds mainly to how much light there is in your environment. So if you're in a dark place, your circadian rhythm will fluctuate depending on your environment. And this is why doctors recommend that we don't look at our devices about an hour before going to sleep, since it emits artificial blue light, which in turn will trick our brain into thinking that it's still daytime when in reality it's probably 11 p.m. Personally, I don't go on my devices about an hour before going to sleep just so I can have a better night rest. Lastly, physical, mental, and behavioral changes take place throughout your circadian rhythm and throughout the day, and I'll talk more about this towards the end of the slideshow. Circadian rhythms are a complicated topic, okay? And for this reason, I'm just going to be briefly expanding on what it actually is so that you guys can have a better understanding of it. Firstly, cortisol is a hormone that makes us more alert. And this is the reason why more of it is produced in the morning. It readies us for activity and initiates the active phase of our day. On the other hand, melatonin is a hormone that makes you more drowsy, hence the reason why more of it is produced in the nighttime. Adenosine is produced throughout the day, and throughout the course of the day when it all accumulates in your brain, it makes you drowsy. And when you sleep, your adenosine levels go back down, and the cycle repeats over and over again. And the reason why people drink caffeine when they want to stay awake is because caffeine can keep you up because it actually blocks your adenosine receptors so that it can't accumulate in your brain and end up making you feel drowsy. When your eyes sense sunlight, a message is sent to your brain that it is time to wake up, and vice versa. So when your eyes sense the sun setting, your message is sent to your brain that it is time to feel drowsy, and it triggers the production of melatonin. And the hypothalamus, which is vital in circadian rhythms, is a small part of the brain right here, and what it does is that it actually regulates which hormones are produced at which time, and it's really important in your circadian rhythms. So over here we have a graph on cortisol and melatonin. So over here we can see that this person wakes up at around 8 o'clock, and as soon as he wakes up you see the spike in the production of cortisol to make him more alert. And as he goes in throughout the day, you can see that the cortisol starts to come down. And as soon as it comes down right here, it starts to go back up again, and then it spikes the next day at the same time when he wakes up. Now on the other side, we'll see the graph of melatonin. So how does this work? So you see how when the person is in his deepest sleep, that's when melatonin is at its highest, because it makes you drowsy. So over here, around 6 o'clock, this person's melatonin spikes, and then it comes down and around the afternoon is at a daytime low. So as soon as you see the sun setting at around 8 o'clock, the message is sent to your brain that it's time to feel drowsy. And so this is why more melatonin is produced. And over here you can see that it actually starts to go back up, and eventually it will go back down once the morning comes. How it impacts our health. So a healthy circadian rhythm will result in improved coordination and focus, a stronger immune system, better ability to digest food smoothly without having problems. So this means you won't have any stomach aches or any indigestion. Better cognitive abilities. So this means if you have a healthy circadian rhythm, your academic performance will be higher. You will have a better physical performance. And so this is why it's important that if you are participating in any sports competitions, it's important that you have a good night's rest so that your body is energized and you're able to be at your peak physically. You'll also have a happier mood overall. Circadian rhythm. How does it impact us on the negative side? How does a disrupted circadian rhythm affect us? So first of all, you will have frequent impulsive behavior. This means you will make decisions without even thinking and you'll start to act rashly. Next, you will start to gradually gain weight. You will find it hard to have a full sleep or to fall asleep faster. So before, if you had a healthy circadian rhythm, you will fall asleep in about 10 or 15 minutes. But now that you have a disrupted circadian rhythm, people may find themselves taking up to 1 hour just to go to sleep. You will feel fatigued or drowsy during the day. So this means if you're a student, this is especially bad since you won't be able to focus on your academics. You'll have a lack of focus and trouble concentrating. And when people are doing exams and the night before, right, the night before an exam, people always cram their notes on the last day, and this is bad because if when they're cramming it in, you go to sleep at 2 a.m. and then let's say you wake up around 7 a.m. That's only 5 hours of sleep, and because of this, your brain is not able to focus on what you have to do, and your cognitive abilities will be dramatically decreased. And so the next day when you wake up, you're not going to be motivated and you won't be confident in what you're going to be doing. You'll also have less stability in your mood and your emotions. So you're going to be having a lot of mood swings now.
Now I'm going to be talking about some of my personal experiences. So when I was in middle school, all the way to my first year of high school, I had a problem. And no, not a math problem. A sleeping problem. So I used to wake up around 7 o'clock every single day, and I did the things I needed to do in order to go to school. And after that, I'd be walking to school, and throughout the course of the day, I felt tired. I was yawning a lot, right? And I found myself yawning some more, and some more. Instead of feeling energetic, I was the complete opposite. I was tired and drowsy. This is when I decided that I needed to put a stop to this. So I did some research and I came across circadian rhythms. Okay? And I did the things that I needed to do, which I'm going to be sharing in a while, to fix my circadian rhythm. And now I just feel great. And trust me, this really changed my life. And I'll be sharing in a bit how to change your circadian rhythm too, to make it from disrupted to healthy. So let's get right to it.
Fixing your circadian rhythm. So if you're one of those people that have a disrupted one, well, you can actually fix this. One way is to go to sleep at the same time every single day and wake up at the same time every single day. So no matter if it's the weekend or weekday, you should try to going to sleep and waking up at the same time. And so this way your body will naturally start to feel drowsy at the same time, and your body will start to wake up at the same time every single day. Some cases you might not even need an alarm clock because your body is already adjusted and naturally beginning to learn your sleep routine. You should also please don't go on devices before 1 hour before going to sleep because like I said before, it actually emits blue light which will trick your brain into thinking that it's still daytime. You should also avoid having heavy meals before going to bed. And the reason is that when you eat a heavy meal, it takes a lot of energy to digest that, and in turn, you won't feel drowsy. You should also cross out naps out of your daily schedule. And personally, I'm a person that doesn't like to take naps. I'm totally against it. And it's okay to take naps once in a while, but if you have that in your daily schedule, it's not a good thing because if you go to sleep, if you're taking a nap and you go to sleep for about 1 or 2 hours in the nighttime, you already had your sleep, you're not feeling drowsy anymore. So you're going to find that it's hard to fall asleep. Also, you should aim to sleep about 8 hours a day. 7 hours is okay too, but 8 hours is optimal and ideal for most people. You should also sleep in a dark and quiet environment. So this way you can naturally go to sleep faster. You should also get daily exercise because most of your tissues, including skeletal muscle, are linked to your biological clock, your circadian rhythm. So when you work out and you exercise, your muscle responds by aligning your circadian rhythm and ensuring that it's not disrupted anymore, and instead it's healthy. Exercise also helps you sleep better by promoting melatonin production. So this way you go to sleep and you feel more drowsy. So this is a rough basic layout of our circadian rhythm. And so let's say at 2 o'clock we have our deepest sleep, okay? Then shortly after, about 2 hours later, we experience a drop in our body temperature. Then let's say this person wakes up at around 6:30, 7 o'clock. Okay, that's when your blood pressure will also rise. The secretion of melatonin will stop shortly after you wake up, and your cortisol will start to spike. And at 10 o'clock, we have our highest alertness. And so after that afternoon, in the afternoon, from around 2:30 to 5 o'clock, you're at your peak physically. So this is when people find that they have more strength. And remember in the beginning how I said physical changes take place throughout the day? This is what I mean. You also have your highest blood pressure at around 6 o'clock, and then your highest body temperature towards the evening. And as soon as you see the sun setting around 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, the secretion of melatonin starts to come up again. And then after, the cycle repeats. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I really enjoyed talking to you guys and helping you guys understand more about circadian rhythms. And if you have any questions, my email is right there. You can contact me at anujan.rajakumar@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye.